Dave Thomas, frustrated by his search for a decent hamburger in Columbus, Ohio, launched Wendy's, named after his then 8-year-old daughter, on November 15, 1969. In less than a decade, Wendy's franchise grew from its original 2 restaurants to more than 1,000 locations. Thomas began appearing in commercials for the company on television in 1989, and his tenure as the face of the brand has been nothing short of spectacular. Dave Thomas was born on Saturday in July 1932 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Rex and Oliva Thomas adopted Dave Thomas soon after his birth, so as far as anyone knows, he never got to meet his biological mother. Dave was 5 years old when Oliva passed away near Kalamazoo, Michigan. Rex sent Dave to live with his adoptive grandmother, Minnie Thomas, in Maine while he investigated new career options. Dave attributes Minnie to teaching him the value of treating clients well, treating others with respect, and the warning to never cut corners. The latter explains how his subsequently famous square-shaped hamburgers were created. When Dave was 12 years old, he returned to his father's apartment and remained there until the family relocated to Fort Wayne, Indiana. While in Fort Wayne, David performed a variety of jobs at various restaurants. Even though he was fired from a few of his previous jobs due to management disagreements and other problems, Dave displayed dedication by pursuing a career in the restaurant industry. To devote himself to the restaurant full-time, Dave forewent his senior year of high school. When the Korean War began, Dave joined the army and was instrumental in ensuring that tens of thousands of American soldiers were fed. The start of Wendy. After serving his country in the Korean War and returning home to Fort Wayne in the mid-1950s, Dave returned to work as a manager at a hobby house. At this time, he crossed paths with Colonel Sanders, who was touring the country to drum up interest in opening KFC locations. After persuading the owners of Hobby House to franchise some of Colonel Sanders' Chicken's restaurants, Dave was able to join the company and work alongside him. Colonel offered Dave a stake in the company for his help when sales dropped at several franchises. Dave helped Colonel increase KFC's brand awareness and advertising, which led to a rise in franchise store sales by the late 1960s. His success inspired Dave to take the plunge and open his very own business. He sold his KFC franchise ownership interest to Colonel for about $1.5 million, which he then used to launch his unique burger concept. After a promising beginning, Wendy's has continued to grow rapidly. When trying to give his new burger concept a name, Dave finally settled on Melina Lou Thomas after one of his daughters. When Melinda was only 7 or 8 years old, she was given the nickname Wendy because she had trouble pronouncing her name. Dave opened the first Wendy's on November 15, 1969 in Columbus, Ohio, with the slogan, "Quality is our recipe." Between 1970 and 1982, over 1,000 Wendy's restaurants were established. Dave's pickup window concept, fresh meat for their burgers, full salad bar, 99-cent super value menu, and bulk sale of franchises to city and regions rather than individual units, all contributed to the chain's meteoric rise to popularity. The challenges faced by Wendy and the solutions. Dave left Wendy's to pursue other interests, and the restaurant soon ran into trouble maintaining normal operations without him. This started in 1982. The company's new menu, the new management's decisions, and the company's reputation all took a hit as a result. These factors contributed to a general slowing in retail sales and hurt franchise growth. Accordingly, in the late 1980s, the company's new management caved in and begged Dave to return to revive the brand. The first thing Dave did was go around to the franchisees and tell them that they needed an MBA, which stood for Mop Bucket Attitude, rather than Master of Business Administration. Customer satisfaction was paramount, and employees operated under the assumption that their jobs depended on their ability to treat each customer with the same enthusiasm and dedication. It required a shift in perspective to start choosing what to put on the menu again with the customer in mind. After appearing in a string of highly successful television commercials for the company, his role was significantly increased. Dave would also begin his nationwide advertising campaigns, revitalizing Wendy's brand and business and making him a household name around the globe. Dave was featured in many of the adverts, while other celebrities, such as Clara Peller from the Where's the Beef campaign, also showed up in some of the spots. Dave was the face of Wendy's brand from the late 1980s until the day of his death on January 8, 2002. With more than 6,500 locations, Thomas's popularity grew thanks to his approachable, down-to-earth advertising for his eateries. 90% of American adults recognized Thomas from Wendy's commercials during the 1990s, the decade he starred in. After 800 commercials, it was obvious that Thomas was a major factor in Wendy's rise to the third largest fast food burger chain in the United States, behind McDonald's and Burger King with over 6,000 franchises. Dave's legacies and inspiration. Dave's legacy continues to inspire others through Wendy's enormous success, and he's enlightening books and public talks on business. In addition, Dave's dedication to education and fostering new families has been a driving force in the expansion of the neighborhood. After dropping out of high school, Dave Thomas founded the Thomas Center at Duke University and the Enterprise Ambassador program at Nova University. Both courses emphasize teaching students about various aspects of business. Dave Thomas, concerned that the children in foster care lacked access to adoptive families, founded the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption in 1992. Dave's lobbying efforts in the nation's capital resulted in the introduction of multiple bills that would grant tax credits to individuals who adopt children from foster care. In addition, Thomas spent his life advocating for foster children to be adopted. Among his many innovative projects, he championed the establishment of an employee benefits program for adoptive parents through the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. His new role as the administration's official adoption spokesman was announced by President George W. Bush. Thomas, who had always felt guilty about dropping out of high school, finally took the initiative to get his high school diploma in 1993 by enrolling in a tutoring program and passing the General Education Development, or GED exam. Dave inspired many because of his willingness to take risks and forge new paths. As long as they are entrepreneurs who value their local communities and their customers, Dave Thomas's legacy will live on. Dave didn't let his shaky beginnings dampen his spirit. Dave's story shows how far determination and hard work can take a business owner. You are free to pursue any interest you like, he said. Your potential is limitless, and you can develop into whoever or whatever you want. Absolutely nothing or nobody can stand in your way except for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.